Good morning. Today we will be talking about the snowball effect of real estate investing. And since we're almost in November, hard to believe that Halloween is right around the corner. And as you can tell with my Canadian accent, I'm on the north side of the border. So we will be seeing snow pretty soon. So I figured I'd get a head start on snowball building. And some of you might be asking, where has Seth been for the past 2 weeks? Well, I was over visiting my friend Brian Rose of the London Real podcast. Sat down, talked with him about my podcast and some other things. You can check that out on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Seth Ferguson, amongst some other things. So we have some big announcements coming up in terms of the real estate podcast I do, and as well as the YouTube channel and some other good stuff. So keep an eye over the next couple months for some pretty big news. I'm really excited about it. But if you have any questions about real estate investing or building snowballs with real estate, just head on over to callseth.com and we can set up a quick phone call. And I need to turn on the callseth.com banner here. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now we have callseth.com showing up for everybody. So the snowball effect of real estate, and this is going to go back to a video I did about 2 weeks ago talking about the rule of 72, and I'll give you a quick refresher. So the rule of 72 gives us a very good estimate of how long it will take our capital, so our investment, to double based on the rate of return we are earning on our money. So all we do is we take the number 72, hence the name, the rule 72, and divide by the interest rate. So let's say we're investing in a mutual fund and we're earning 5% on our money in the mutual fund, which is, I would say, pretty standard. The banks make it seem like the best thing ever, but we know as smart real estate investors, there are much better things we can do with their money. And we'll talk about that after this horrible example of where to put your money. So 72 divided by 5, I think it's 14 point something. So let's say 14 years. So that means it's going to take 14 years for our capital to double at 5%. Tell me anybody, give me an example of anybody who has made themselves wealthy at 5%, taking 14 years for their capital to double. It does not happen. You will not build wealth. In 14 years, a whole lot of things change. I'll have a whole lot more gray hair on the side of my head in 14 years. So I want my capital to double at a much faster rate. So you always hear me talking about these multifamily real estate deals via syndication and all the benefits of investing in multifamily real estate. Well, lots of these deals will pencil out and perform at, let's say, 17%, even though I know for a fact that there are deals now performing in excess of 20%. So let's say 17%. At 17%, your money doubles every 4 years. So would you rather have your capital double every 14 years in a mutual fund, or double every 4 years plus? With real estate, you get all the tax benefits. So through cost segregation and through depreciation, you can basically wipe out a lot of the taxes you will pay on your gains on your money simply because of the tax code. And it's no secret that rich people rate the tax code, so they give benefits to other people investing in rich people types of things like real estate deals. So we know through the rule of 72 that our capital at 17% is going to double every 4 years. That's really exciting. So this is where the snowball effect comes into play. So we'll have year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to use a hypothetical example just to demonstrate the point and the snowball effect as it gets going. So let's say we are a high income earner, whether we're a dentist, doctor, lawyer, accountant, programmer, you name it, we're earning, we are an accredited investor. So that means we're earning $200,000 a year or $300,000 a year as a couple, or we have $1 million of assets, excluding our principal residence. And if you are an accredited investor and you are interested in investing in real estate, just head on over to callseth.com and we'll set up a quick call. So let's say we're a high income earner, we are an accredited investor, and now we want to start the snowball rolling. So, and all of you, unless you've grown up in Florida and you haven't seen snow, but as you know, as you're building a snowball, you pack a little tight little start, and then you start rolling in and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's the same thing going on with real estate investing. We start small and it starts bigger and growing bigger and bigger and gaining more momentum. So let's say we're going to invest $50,000 in year one in a real estate deal, and we're earning 17%, just to use the example. So at 17%, our capital doubles every 4 years. So year one, we invest in a real estate deal. Year two, we're going to invest in another real estate deal. Year three and year four. So we've taken $200,000 over 4 years, and I think that's quite a reasonable example for a typical high income earner just getting started in investing in real estate. So $200,000, $50K a year for 4 years. Well, what happens? Well, by year four, at the end of year four, your first investment of $50,000 has now doubled. So what you do is you're going to take your capital that's doubled now from 50 to 100, and you're going to reinvest that in another deal that's going to double your capital in 4 years, plus give you all sorts of tax benefits. So you're putting more money in your pocket and you're paying far less tax to the government. So now we're going to have 100K here instead of 50. And again, year six, this is going to come up. 100K and another 100K. Okay, you see how it starts building. So now, let's say this didn't double let's say this stays static. By year 8, nothing's happened. Well, we're going to have $400,000 in our portfolio versus the $200,000. So in 8 years, if nothing happens here, if this just stays static, let's say we hit a long-term recession and we're just treading water, our money is in a very stable investment, multifamily real estate. So we know it's not going anywhere because we're in a good deal with solid cash flow, but we're just treading water in terms of our returns at this point. We've basically doubled our capital in 8 years, and that is underperforming in a horrible recessionary time versus a mutual fund at 5%, and it's taking 14 years for our capital to double. But let's just say things get a whole lot better, and in year 9 and 10, we have a doubling again. Well, pretty soon we're at $1 million. And this is within a decade. This is the power of investing in real estate and really understanding the rule of 72 and knowing how doubling our capital at an accelerated rate has a huge impact on our life. So would you rather have your capital double? So let's say our $200,000, let's say we invested that in a mutual fund. Would we rather have $400,000 in 14 years or $1 million in 10 years, in a decade? Well, if you ask me, I would rather have the $1 million. That's just me. I'm not sure. Maybe some of you would rather have less, but for me, I would rather take the $1 million in 10 than have $400,000 in 14. So this is the power of real estate. And I always harp on, I shouldn't say harp, that's a very harsh word. I always explain the benefits, the tax benefits that come along with real estate investing, because as you know, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. So if the government keeps taking all your money at a very high tax rate, and as a high income earner, you would painfully know how much money the government takes. While with real estate investing through cost segregation and depreciation, there's a lot of paper losses that show up in year one, and you can take full advantage of those. So if you have any questions about the snowball effect of real estate investing, I know I just used a very basic example today to get the point across, but if you are interested, if you think, hey, Seth seems like a nice guy, I'd like to know what deals he's doing and get on his list, by all means, go to callseth.com. We'll have a quick chat, find out about your goals and whether or not this might be a good fit for you, because for some people it's not a good fit, but for many people looking to double their capital at an accelerated rate, it's well worth a 20-minute conversation. So have a great day. It's kind of rainy right here, but hopefully it's nice and sunny where you are, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.